Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? I've got my coffee to kind of waken me up a little bit. I have to have my coffee in the morning. Good morning, Dee. Good morning, Ems. Morning, Ruthie. Morning, Jamie. How is everybody doing? I know I said throughout some holidays these Tuesday morning lives are going to be a bit sporadic, if that's the right word, purely because it just depends on what my kids are doing at the time and whether it's a rather bit noisy. But otherwise, good morning to everyone. Hi, Tracy. So I'm going to finish off the Asian elephant. I'm not going to finish it off. I'm going to carry on with it, should I say is the right word. Hi, Megan. This is a colour along, so part one is on my channel. And then obviously I'm going to work more at the top of his head because I've already done the skin. I'm going to work more at the top of the head and the leaves and stuff. And then obviously I'm going to do a part 3 video to finish the rest of it off because I've got some ideas for the background, but they might be a bit crazy. You know what I'm like. I'm always crazy. So I hope everyone's got a brew and ready to chat and colour. I'm just going to slurp some more of mine and then we're going to get on with it. So not everyone is used to me coming on stream on a Tuesday because it's not a regular thing at the minute. So I don't expect it to be a massively busy one. I hope you all like my new background on my desk. My little marble thing that I spent 3 hours nearly peeling the black stuff I had on it already off during Corey's stream. Just before I was about to stream, thinking I'm not going to have a colour on my desk and it's going to look absolutely horrendous. I'm just going to take the auto zoom off so we don't get the flashing in and out. Oh, my dogs are around my ankles, so he's playing. Are you treating that as a double page with the owls? I doubt it. I might fancy doing the owls after. Let me just put my dog once in his bed. Right, you move out the way, big one, and you go in if you're going in. Are you going in? Are you going in? No, don't start fighting, you two. If you're not going in, don't go in. If you're going in, go in. It's gorgeous. What I was thinking of doing, I don't know if I can do it, but from these rock formations here, I was going to try and do like the edge of a cliff, and I was going to try and get waterfalls in between here, but I don't know. I'm going to see. It's 6 AM and I'm still in bed. Flipping Nora, Jamie. 6 AM. There's not 6 AM in my days when the kids are off school. Hi, Aunt. Loves it. Is it that Fab Blonde stick stuff? It is, yeah. I got it from B&M's. So yeah, there's loads of it left. No, stop fighting. No. I have no volume yet while dropping Jer off because the news is okay. But hello, I'm in chat. Hello, Ashley. Hello. So, hello everyone coming in. So, yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to try and do like a cliff edge in the very far background with waterfalls coming in between. That's what I'm going to try and do. I'm probably being extremely over confident with that one. I can't say it any other way. But yes, we get down to these. Let me just put my zoom good on here. So how's everyone's weekend been? Did you all enjoy the colour-a-thon? I kind of caught up with my sleep. So had the white marble in my kitchen. Oh, have you had the white? The white one's gorgeous as well. I couldn't decide between pink or the silver. So I went with this one because I just thought it needs to be lighter. But it was a pain in the butt doing this board, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I'm using dark tan. And I am going to sharpen it first because it's just not... why do I push my bin all the way up there? Let's get my bin here. Stay there. So Ems, are your kids off now? Have you got all your children on school holidays? Because I know everyone all over the country is always different. It's going to be a hot one today, I can tell you. I am sweating already. I took an antihistamine because I'm a bit bungy this morning. I want to do this one at work today. Oh, nice! It's such an amazing picture, this one. So I know this, some people might see this as stone, but it's not. It's a wood structure for me. That's how I'm seeing it. Oh, you're welcome, Jamie. So if you want to do it in greys and things like that, then that is perfectly fine. But I'm seeing it as a wooden structure, and that's why I'm doing it as a wooden thing rather than grey, because I want the elephant to be all grey and standing out. I mean, the steps are going to be grey, because that in my eyes is part of the elephant, but I want this to be all wooden structure. So if I sound croaky, I'll sound croaky till my antihistamine kicks in. So I do apologise if I am. I have been streaming ones that I missed in the background at work. Yeah, I've still got to catch up on Emily's. And who else? Did I miss one of the others? I missed Tammy's on the morning one, I think, on the Friday. I didn't get to see it all, so I've got to go back and watch that one as well. So I'm just giving this a blanket overall colour with dark tan. Nothing special. But I kind of didn't want to carry on with the skin. I might do some of the skin of the elephant today. We'll see how long I decide to go for. It's depending on when my kids come out of their room, because they're heading on that pre-teen age, so they're kind of just sat in the bedrooms, not doing very much. It makes the white of the paper pot more. Thought you had changed your lighting. Yeah, they broke up on the 18th of July, go back on the 1st of September. Oh, so I was broke up at the same time. I was broke up on the 21st, I think it was, or 22nd, and I was only go back on the 6th of September. So these have got a really good break this time. It's never gone so far into September. So this is the same brown that I've used in the skin of the elephant, so it just kind of ties it all in. Plus it keeps your palette limited, as not using 20 million different colours. But I do want to get out a really dark brown as well. I'm probably going to get Huntsman out. Just let me have a see. What I want to get out. I have got some videos that are going to be coming up on my channel as well that I've got to fit. The Her series one, the Chameleon girl out of Emmanuel Collin is going to be landing on my channel in the next few days. Somehow I caught every stream. That's fantastic, Jamie. That's what we was wanting everyone to do. I have to have a catch up on ants. That's on my list today. That's on your list today. Is it mud? I want to go mud, or do I want to go? Yeah, I want it really dark actually. I don't know what's wrong with my lips since I've drank this coffee, but I honestly feel like I've got Botox in my lip, and I've not, but it feels like it. It feels like my lip is blowing up. Let me just check these two colours. I want to see which is the darkest and more in keeping with what I've got going here. Let me just try mahogany. Okay, so we're gonna go that one. We're gonna go Huntsman rather than Mud. I'm literally only in the office I am right now to answer the phones this week, so I'll have some time. When I start my new job next week, I may be in daytime streams less and less. We're gonna miss you when we don't see you in the streams, Ashley. That's gonna be so weird. But honestly, I wish you all the luck in the world in your new job, because I know that you're gonna be so happy. So we will sacrifice losing you in the streams for your happiness. Okay, so that's all of dark tan down, and we're going to move to mahogany. I'm going to keep my pencils nice and sharp. I'm going to have to start putting, in fact, I need to start bringing my tablet back on my desk so I can catch this chat better. It's 6:23 here and I'm logged in at home, so it makes it easier. The days I have to go in, I don't get to watch it all. Oh no, day. So we're going in with mahogany here. I'm just going to pop it up on screen so anyone that's following along and doesn't want to listen to me knows what I'm using. And I'm just going to go in all the fascias, but on these like flat bits here, I'm going to give them kind of a bit of texture as well by just pulling down wood strokes on them, so you get a bit of the dark tan coming through. I don't know why it's called dark tan, to be fair, that pencil, because it's very light. So I'm going to go in here in these shadowed areas. We're going to go in and make them darker as well, but I just want to give texture to the rock as well. I'm probably going to add some of my own strokes in just so it breaks it up a little bit more, and I might add a bit of an olivey green to it, because obviously it won't look like pure fresh wood, will it? So it's got to have a bit of something on there, so I'll be adding a bit of that in it in places as well. So we've got smooth fascia here. I'm just going to pull it down. Just gives it a little hint. It's not too dark, but gives it a little hint of something else. How rude of work. I literally cannot wait to go back to women's health. I'm mentally done with my job now. That's the thing, when you're mentally fixed, when you're done with a job, or you're done with doing something that you used to love but you don't anymore, when you're done, you're done. There's no change in your mind. You don't want to continue being there. You can't wait to leave. And it's like a massive relief when you start your new job, isn't it? When you just can't wait, and it's like if something's holding you back from starting, it just makes that process even worse. Honestly, I don't know if my lips are reacting to the coffee I've been drinking. I feel like my lips really blown up. It's very bizarre. So again, just going to pull some of these down here just so it gives it a bit of a, I've got a sheer light. I know, I can't wait to do the wood. You know what I'm like with wood. That's why I've seen it all as wood rather than stone. Probably loads of people have done it as stone, but I'm not. Let me just have a drink of my I feel like I'm really croaky this morning. Good morning, Jeremy. They always shout it on the phone. Yes, and during Ashley's stream in the Colourathon, Jeremy sent me a video of words that us Brits say when we don't really need to say them or call them, which is rather funny because I think Americans have more term for things than we do. But that's by the by. But you call brownies brownies, and we call them chocolate brownies because they're chocolate flavoured brownies. So Jeremy, I'm going to say it again. They're still chocolate brownies, and you can't fool me with that lemon brownie, because that was a lemon drizzle cake. So we call them chocolate brownies. Yes, I know we're extending the name of it and we're highlighting that it's chocolate. But they are very chocolatey and very gooey, so therefore us Brits call them chocolate brownies. So now we're getting a bit of texture. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you going downstairs?
Yes. What?
I'm just asking. You can take the dogs with you if you want to.
Come on.
So one has risen out of her pit.
Go on.
So it was quite funny, and I was at it to Ashley in her stream. Just shout out really loud chocolate brownie, because I was wanting to see Jeremy's reaction if I heard him burst out laughing in the middle of Ashley's stream, because that would have been funny. So you guys call a leash, and we call it a lead. And on this video, who was the guy in the video? It was actually a really funny video, to be fair. And he was an American, and he was doing the English accents, and it actually really made me laugh. Milo, stop! Down! It was a really funny video, and the guy in it, he did accents on it extremely well. He did a really good British accent, let me tell you. But it's things like, we call a lead, and you guys call it a leash. You call cake, a brownie, and we call it a chocolate brownie. And he's like, why do I have to call it a chocolate brownie? It's obvious it's chocolate, but that's just the way it is. And I was talking to Kelly yesterday, and I was having an ice cream. I was sat having a nice lolly. And Kelly went, are you sucking on a popsicle? And I went, what the heck's a popsicle? And she's like, an ice thing that you know, an iced popsicle. I went, you mean the ice cream or ice lolly? We call them an ice cream and ice lolly. And I think it's absolutely hilarious how we all have different terms for different things. It's so funny, and I'm enjoying learning them. It's like when Tammy said to me that they call McDonald's Macca's, and now I can't stop calling it Macca's. I said, right, we're going to Macca's, and Leighton's like, what? We're going where, Matty? Macca's. And he's like, what's Macca's? I went, McDonald's. He went, why are you calling it Macca's? And I'm like, we call it Mackies. yes, Mackies. And Australians call it Macca's. AS. So, what do Americans call Mackies? Good day, Tammy! So now I'm putting in some really dark features in here. So I'm using Huntsman. And I'm literally going in all these little areas now, just on the very edge of them, to emphasise how deep they kind of go in. And where we've got a few lines, I'm also going to pull them up. So I'm going to do a little bit here. And I'm going to start really making the shape of the rocks formate, should I say. All the kids are starting coming out outside as well, so you will hear a lot of background kid noise. It's not mine, I don't have a herd of children. I do have 4, but I don't have as many as you'll hear in the street in a short period of time. Hi Lou, good morning. We call McDonald's Maccy D's. So there we go. Sometimes we call it Maccy D's. So we're very similar on that one. But I just love it. It's like me and Ashley have said loads of times. We've sat and we've said, "Oh, what do you call this? What do you call that?" And it's really interesting to know what kind of other countries call the same kind of stuff. Like we call crisp, a packet of crisp to us is a packet of flat potatoes in a crisp with flavour on. And in America they call potato chips. Is that the right word? Potato chips. And I'm like, we call them crisp. And it cracks me up. Aluminum, and we call it aluminium. Icy poles or bajingos. I love that one. Hey, go and get me a bajingo out of the fridge. That's a good one. A bajanga. Icy poles. That's a good one. So yeah, it's actually really what's the word I'm looking for? I'm loving finding out all the new things that I probably wouldn't find out, because obviously when you don't visit places across the big blue pond, you just go off what's said in movies and stuff like that. So it's really nice to have friends now from all over the world, and we can sit and discuss what kind of things they say compared to what we call them, and I think it's so fascinating and interesting. But the one thing I will stand by, you drive on the wrong side of the road. And Ashley, Tammy will verify that with me, that in the US your cars are the wrong way around. By jingo. By jingo. Can I have a by jingo? That's funny. So just put a bit of detail in there with Huntsman. And now I just want some Black Widow. Black Widow from the Black Widow. And again, I'm just going to go in the really darkest areas of here. I'm just keeping my pencil really sharp. Hopefully you can see exactly what I'm doing. And these are just for our deepest shadows in the wooden formation. I need to verify your statement. Left side of the road is the only way. Yes! I get in my car. Hold on a minute. What side do I get in my car? No, our steering wheel is on the right hand side. So we drive up the street on the left hand side. So we go north, or whichever, we go up on the left hand side of the road, and we come down on the right hand side of the road. That is the one thing I'll stick to. And could you imagine if I ever tried to drive, if I came to America, I'd probably crash. It cracks me up when I get in the car, when Ashley gets in the car. And I was talking to the other day when she was waiting on car park for Jeremy to finish work. And she got out of the car and she sat in the passenger side waiting. I went, "No, you're in the right side of the car now. Now I can cope with this. This looks right now." But when I'm watching and she's driving, and same, Ashley says the same with me when I'm video chatting and I put her on my little stick in the window and she's like, "Shell, you're on the wrong side of the road." I'm like, "No, I'm not. You are." But in all honesty, when I sit and look at the way you guys would go around a roundabout, for example, it would be easier if we went round it via the right. So in all honesty, there is some aspects of right hand side driving that are really good. When we moved to Australia from the UK, some of the names for things out there were a bit confusing. Bedding and towels, etc. in shops are called Manchester and quilt don Doona. Not sure of the spelling. See, this is what I love. Hi, Sammy. I'd have accidents even in Europe. It's the right side in Greece, etc. I'm like, morning all. Short visit. Sadly, Mum has eye hospital. Oh, wish your luck with your mum and her eyes today, Sammy. And give Bump a little rub from me. Say hi from Shell to the little peanut growing in there. Oh, is everyone following Vicky's little family pictures on Instagram? Honestly, it pulls at my little heartstrings every time I see it and I think, "Oh, baby." But I've had 4 babies. I don't want any more babies. But seeing all these baby pictures, I'm like, oh, I'm really going to want... I don't want another baby, but it kind of makes me a bit broody. And I'm like, oh. So I'm looking for a really dirty green. Or am I going to go forest green? Because it will make it dirty anyway, won't it? Yeah, I'm going to go with forest green. Oh, belting. Yeah, we wish Sammy's mum all the best with her eye outcomes. Got everything, fingers, toes, even my fingers, toes. I'll cross my ear, I'll cross my ears, I'll cross everything we can. For Sammy's mum. Such a beautiful lady. So I'm using forest and I'm just adding some green kind of tinges on the rocks. So I'm just being really random. It can be right up tucked in there. He's gorgeous, isn't it? That little video with his little smile, I'm like, oh, I love it. I absolutely love baby stuff. It's the shortest part of having kids. If that's the right thing. When you have a baby, that baby part is so precious and so absolutely amazing, and watch every feet. But it's gone in before you know it, your baby's a month old, before you know it, your baby's 6 months old, before you know it, your baby's 5, and then before you know it, like me, my baby's 18. That stage just goes, and I don't know if anybody else feels the same who's got more grown-up kids like me, and I've made that choice that I'm having no more kids, and we've made that choice permanent as well. So my next kids are like grandparents. But when you look back on your little pictures of when the toddlers and stuff, you miss them little people. They were the little characters. They were like with Freya. she's very out there. She's a dancer. She loves it. She's so full of character and stuff. But when she was a toddler, my gosh, she was like, everywhere she went, she left an impression. And everyone would be like, that kid's going to be on stage. But you miss that kind of, I'm trying to think of the word. You miss what they were. They grow and change so much into different people all the way through the life. It's crazy. So cherish, when you have them babies, honestly, cherish them days. Take as many pictures as you can, because it's gone. It's gone within weeks. And unless you have another baby, like me, I had like 4. Honestly, it's gone. It's gone so quickly. And I always say to Leighton, I feel horrible saying I miss my little toddlers and my little babies. But you do. It is. You kind of like, sometimes I wish I could just clip my fingers and go back and you know, spend that time again with the little tiny babies. You know, that'd be amazing. So I don't know if that green, if you can, you see the green on screen? Is it showing through? I'm not having any more. I'm past it now. My nephew's going to be 4 months on the 15th. Oh, 4 months. I know, that's gone so quick. Hi Brandy. It almost looked like you're using woodless pencils because the pencil is black, but I see that they're Black Widows. They are, yes. The Black Widows. Yeah, life is definitely on fast forward. Like, I don't even know where. I mean, my husband's just turned 40, and it feels 2 minutes ago since we was doing his 30th party. And I'm like, where's 10 years just gone? And like, we're going through this mortgage process now, and the mortgage advisor said to us, oh, you can only have your mortgage over 29 years. And I was like, why? And she's like, because 29 years, Leighton will be 70. I honestly, I was having a brew, like we brew, and I was sat on the phone because everything's done by video chat or call now. You don't go and see them in the offices at the minute. And honestly, I spat my drink out because I never looked at it. I never looked at it as Leighton is 70 in 29 years. And the thought made me feel so sick. And I was like, I can't believe that. I don't want to even think. I don't want to think like that, because if he's 70 in 29 years, I'm 68 in 29 years. And that is like, no way. No way. It really scared me. Totally, I'm past it. I'm definitely past it. Do not get me wrong. I am totally past it. And I'm brooding. When I see people's babies, I'm like, oh, I'm brooding. I'd love for all the baby. And I take the baby. And, sorry, I'm just trying to find a slightly darker green. And I don't think I've got one. Do you know, I think it's these Black Widows, you know what, itch my hands. Well, that one might be one. Let's try on. Yeah, that's a good one. This is awful green I'm going to use next. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I like handing them back at the same time. I'm not... yeah, I'll wait for my grandbabies now. Oh God, that makes my tummy turn. I was a gastric mum, found out I was pregnant when I was... Why did I read that as gastric? It doesn't even say gastric. Geriatric mum, found out I was pregnant at 40. Your dad's making sausage and French toast. Nice, Brandy. So this is opal green. And I'm just adding flecks of this around. So yeah, I'd be one of them friends. If you had babies, I'd be like up for cuddling, feeding and this, that and the other. But I'm definitely a giver backer. I don't want any more kids. And I think the kids would be mortified if we had more kids as well. But it's kind of, I like to be able to give back now. But you kind of also miss that age. But it doesn't make me want to have another kid. But I kind of miss that era of when they were growing up and stuff like that. And now they're just like gobby preteens and can I have, can I have, can I have? And answering me back. I'm turning 50 this year, so definitely no more. Hi, Texas. How are you? Never stop moving in my belly. He's 14 now and doesn't stop. Oh, do you know when the best part of being pregnant, I used to sit in bed, and when you lie flat on your bed, you bump kind of like spaced out a little bit. And I used to love watching like the foot stick out, especially with my first. And I was slimmer then. I could see his full foot sticking out of my skin, or his full hand pushing out of my skin. That was absolutely amazing seeing that. And then obviously when I had my next kids, I'd put a lot of weight on having Aiden, so I struggled to lose it. And so I didn't see it as much with my next kids because obviously I had a bit more belly fat. So now I've done all these with a bit of mossy green woody effect on there. I just need to come and do some on this one. So I'm just going to get Forest back, which is Forest. I just want to keep it on screen for anyone that might be colouring along. I'm just going to add some forest green in. Morning, Audrey. How are you? That was the time when you were supposed to have a... I wasn't in a rush. People always ask me and Andrew, you're together 17 years and still not. Like, when we're ready, we will. Yeah, it just happens, doesn't it? I never planned on having kids young. I planned on going out and discovering the world. I mean, I was a hairdresser, and I was planning on going on the ships, you know, cruise ships, and doing hair on the cruise ships. That was my plan. And then I met my husband then, and it just happened out of the blue. I just found out I was pregnant, and obviously your life changes to whatever at that point. So back to opal green. So it was never in my plan, and I honestly think, you know, a lot of the times babies come when you don't plan it. So when people struggle to have babies and stuff like that, when they stop trying, it happens. So I'm a firm believer in exactly what Sam has just said. It happens when it happens, when the time's right for you to have a baby. They just appear. Okay. So can you see all that on there? Is it showing up all right? Yeah, definitely. It definitely doesn't stop. It's early in Texas, but waking up to y'all is perfect. Oh, lovely Texas. No, it definitely doesn't. It doesn't define you as a person. No, I totally agree. So coming over to these ones now, so I'm just going to give that back to dark tan, and I'm just going to give that a complete blanket cover everywhere of this colour. We had so many amazing, beautiful, selfish years together and loved it. Yeah, that's what you need. That, honestly, there's nothing wrong with that either. A family comes when a family comes. I was very young. I was 18 when I found out I was pregnant with my first. No, sorry, I was 19. I met my husband when I was 18. And I was 19 when I got pregnant. And, you know, my career was just starting. I'd just passed out as a stylist in the hairdressers. I was just getting my own clients. And, you know, I had 9 months of being a full-time hairdresser, cutting hair, whatever. As a junior, that's what you strive for, to get your name in the column and, you know, do the hair and stuff. And I got to that point, and then I had to tell my employers that I was pregnant. And it didn't go down very well, let me tell you, because in over 30 years, apparently, they'd never had a pregnancy in the hairdressers. And then I got pregnant, and then everybody else got pregnant after. It's like I put a curse on them. It was funny. It wasn't funny to them. It was funny to me because it made me laugh. So next up is mahogany. Morning, Debbie. Yeah, just snuggle everyone else, is Ashley. Lockdown lifted, so we're able to go see you and our daughter-in-law. Oh, that's been the hardest thing for everyone, hasn't it? He's not seeing the grandbabies and nieces and nephews in lockdowns and stuff. So with mahogany, I'm picking up all these shaded areas like we did in the other side. I'm just putting it in them for now. And then I'm going to give these sheer edges just a bit of texture by pulling down with the pencil. Not flicking, just a very light kind of downward stroke. Is that right? Oh, thank you, Jamie. They caught the bug. I did. I definitely did catch the bug. I think I just set a curse on the next minute. All the younger stylists were all, she's got pregnant. It was so funny. I don't think they knew what to do because the owners were men as well, so they didn't take to it very well. And I kept getting snide comments of like, "Oh, you're getting bigger now. You need to cover up. Oh, your face is looking red and blotchy. You need to put more makeup on." And I was like, "I'm not putting more makeup on. This is what happens when you get pregnant. I'm sorry, but I'm being flushed if I'm being flushed, and you will lump it." And I remember so many times ringing my mum up and crying, saying, I can't cope with the jabs. I've had enough." And she's like, "You will stick that out, because if you don't, you'll not get your maternity pay, and don't let them be like that with you just because they've never had a pregnancy in the salon before. Is you don't let them make you feel like that. You're meant to be enjoying this time. It's your first baby." And I was young as well, so I found everything a lot more emotional, but I didn't let them win in the end. I stuck it out, and then I had my beautiful baby boy at that time, and I was obsessed with eating oranges, absolutely obsessed, and I swear he came out orange. Yeah, definitely. I didn't change what I wore, Sammy. I just didn't. At first I'd started wearing bigger tops and stuff, and then I thought, why not? I was slim, I was pregnant, I had a lovely bump. And it was only after a bit when I started piling weight. I don't know why it did it. It just did. It was more towards the end, the last 2 or 3 months. You could see my bump for a mile before you saw me coming. So I came round the corner and there'd be endless bump and then me. But I think I started carrying a lot of water towards the end. But it just piled. I put about 3 stone on. And then after I had him, I ended up getting diagnosed with polycystic ovaries. So I don't know whether it just had a bit of a meltdown at the time. I don't know. So it was Huntsman we used. In the car park now, could talk more. Woohoo! Let's keep Ashley company while she's waiting to go into work. So this is, I keep forgetting, this is Huntsman. So I am using a combination from all the different sets. So if you are following along, you will need the skin tone sets, and you'll need all three: Cobra, Spider, Black Widow, Cobra and Scorpion. And you'll also need the Monarchs, because I am using some Monarchs as well. Beth's watching, listening while driving as well. Damn straight, Tammy, I've been making it more in their face. I did. It was like, because I was young, I think it was worse. And my mum was kind of like me, Irma. And she was like, don't let them treat you like that. And in the end, I didn't. I just got on with it. The only one thing I didn't agree with was they took me off the column. Because they said, because I'd be going off in 9 months, that I'd build my clientele up and then I'd have to leave. And I said, but I'll be coming back. And they said, well, we can't risk that. So they took me off my column and put me back as an assistant. And I was absolutely gutted that I wasn't allowed to continue building my clientele. I'd only just made it as a stylist, and then they kind of took it away from me. So I wasn't impressed with that, and my mum wasn't. But back then, there wasn't unions and stuff like that, and we certainly didn't have a union in there. Phone sad face down. Shell, I looked like a beach whale and I was pregnant in the middle of summer. I gave 0 cares. Yeah, I wasn't bothered. I loved being pregnant. I absolutely loved it. It's the highlight of all my pregnancies. I had really, really good pregnancies. I think the only one I was a bit sick with in the mornings was my last, which was Kian, and I remember feeling so nauseous. And I never was nauseous. I was really lucky with my pregnancies that I never got really sick. But with Kian, oh, it was something else. I was so sick. But once that wore off, it was absolutely amazing pregnancy. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. I just delivered babies really, really fast. Oh yeah, you definitely tolerate less. You definitely tolerate less. Like now, I know the way I am now, I wouldn't be able to cope with the night feeds at my age. So I think it was right that I had babies young. But then again, I'm saying that and I don't know, because you just get on with it, don't you? If you're pregnant at whatever age, you just get on with it. But I just couldn't imagine doing bottle feeds. I know my husband couldn't. That is a definite. He could not. He would not be able to cope with night feeds now. Especially the job he does and stuff, and the hours he can come home at. He's always sleeping. So I don't think he would enjoy it now if we had kids at this age. No, it's not okay. I'd be like, y'all suck. Bye. Who's buying? What you buying? You got FFS all the way. You've got a colouring channel, Beth. I didn't know. Hello, Sassy. How are you? Seven months. Wow, that's a long time, Jamie. Yeah, I had fast deliveries and no morning sickness with 3, and my last one was, whew, it was an extremely fast delivery. I had fast delivery On my records, they actually wrote that I was in labour for 2 minutes because I literally made it into the room. Sorry to be descriptive, made it into the room. We're all women here, open legs, out broke the water and out popped Kian. It was like that. I was supposed to deliver him in the car. I was stressing out because I was holding my legs shut as much as I could in the car driving to the hospital. And my mum's on the phone to the hospital saying, we're coming back, because I'd already been in once. And they said, oh no, you're still only 3 centimetres. And I was like, I was 3 centimetres on my sweep this morning. I said, it's my 4th kid. Are you sure you want to send me home? Yeah. Just go home, get it bath, blah, 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 blah. And my mum lives literally 10 minutes from the hospital, if that. Probably not even 10 minutes. And we got home. I walked through the front door. And anyone who knows, who's had kids, you get your pushes, you get your contractions that go and go and go and go and go, and they're like, oh, and you're on your gas and air and you're blowing away. But then when the pushing process starts, they call it the burr down push, don't they, where you kind of go, them ones. And later, the first thing he said to me, walked in my mum's, I got this contraction that I held onto the door and I went, and later went, I know what that noise is. Oh my God, she's going to have the baby. And my mum's like, oh my God. And it ended up being a great big massive kerfuffle. And Leighton's like, get back in the car, get back in the car. And all the way to the hospital, which was like 5, just short of 10 minutes to the hospital in the car, I was crossing my legs and I'm like, in the seat of this car, and I'm going, I'm going to have him in the car. My mum's going, oh my God. And she's on the phone to hospital. She's like, my daughter's going to have him in the car. What do we do? And the midwife's saying, she stays in the car. We'll come to her. And I was like, so in my car at the time, bearing in mind I have 3 kids at this point, 2 of which are still in car seats. My mum is sat in the middle of the car seats in the back. I'm in the passenger seat with my feet pushed as far back as they could go, cross, going like this in front seat at car. And my mum's like, they're telling you have to stay at car. Leighton pulled up on that car park. I had that door open as fast as I could, and I excuse me swearing, I shit you not, I was running in labour, pushing and running. I ran across that car park. I ran down the entry, down this corridor. I met 2 midwives with a big orange pack on the back, and they went, are you Michelle Jones? I'm like, yeah, I'm Michelle Jones. And they're like, what are you doing at your car? I went, I can't deliver in my car. I'm not delivering in my footwell. And I can't deliver in the back because there's car seats. I can't have my baby in my car. And I was like, she was like, right, quick. We gets in this lift. And I am not joking. The lift door opened and the maternity ward was across the aisle of the doors of the lift. She ran in, she opened the door, she just picked the first door possible. I go, quick, like this, and I ran in, I jumped on the bed, I pulled my leggings off, I got one knicker leg out and it went psh, everywhere. And the woman the midwife had one glove on her hand, and Kian came out and she was like, oh, so no one could tie the back of a thing. She had one glove on, I had one knicker leg out, one legging off, a kid hanging out my Murray. I was like, oh my God. It was the craziest labour I've ever had in my life, honest to God. But then because I had him so quick, it shot my blood pressure so high. But I was determined I was not having him in the car. And Leighton was like, I can't believe you ran. You was running. I went, yeah, I know. Where was I going to have that kid in that car? So that was my crazy last one. The other ones were all textbook labours. Obviously, Freya, I had pregnancy diabetes with Freya, so they induced me early, but she came out 6 hours, I think it was, from having the pessary to her being born. She was born textbook way, head twisted and everything, and came out. Alicia, she was born 5 weeks prem. She came out like a little pea. She was so tiny, I didn't know what to do with her. But she came out the normal way. She just shot out like a pea. As my dad would say, she came out like an exocet missile. So now I'm bringing in the forest green. So that was my story. So yeah, Kian's was a mad, crazy birth. I nearly had her in car. Could you imagine? Oh, so where was your birth? Oh, in the front seat of my car in the footwell. You don't remember the doctor coming in? After the first thing out of my sister's mouth was, "Oh, thank God he's cute and not ugly, alien." That's what I said. You know what I said? For all my kids, they've not got ginger hair, have they? Have they got ginger hair? And they're all going, no, they've all got. Alicia's was pure black, and she had this long. Has anyone ever watched that program Tintin? And he's got that curly thing on top of his head. That's what she looked like when she came out. She had this big long curly thing on top of her head. She was bald everywhere else apart from this patch. So with forest, I'm just putting the mossy areas in. Frey came out. She had very, very, very white blonde hair. And then Aidan had really white blonde hair as well when he came out, and Kian was kind of like mousy, but he was a bit baldy. But none of them's got ginger hair, and I was made up that none of them's got ginger hair. What on earth is going on? I come into to a child hanging out. I can say. No, they're not all that insane. I don't want to scare you, Sammy, but it was very. I had my babies very quickly, and they always said to me, because with me, I got to 5 centimetres, and then all of a sudden I was at 10 centimetres, and they're like, "Whoa, the babies are coming." Every single one of them was like that. So I said to them in the maternity ward before they sent me home, "I do have my babies really quick," and they're like, "Oh, you'll be all right, don't worry," and they couldn't believe how quick I was back. And causing all holy hell in maternity ward. And this poor porter was in that lift when I was going up, and his face was a picture. He's like, "Is she going to have that baby in this lift?" And she said, "Most likely," and his face was an absolute picture. He just went pure white. Have to dash now. Mum will laugh my way to the car. Bye all, have a great day. So I'm not scaring you, Sammy, by all means. That was my 4th kid. You'll be fine with your first, but the more you have, the faster they pop out. But give your mum a lovely hug from me, and give Bump a little rub from me. From Crazy Shell. So next is opal green. And then again, I'm just adding this in between the forest greens that I've done, just in the more shaded areas, just to give it some more texture, like things are growing on it. So yeah, that was my crazy start to having kids. Or not my crazy start to having kids. I had textbook labours for the first 3 and then a crazy one at the end, and he's still crazy now. I remember having a call with my mum saying, "I don't think we will be having her today." It was Australia Day. 2 hours later I had Georgia. It's mad, innit? Pregnancies happen when you least expect it, and it's same, unless you obviously have a planned section or something like that. They come when you least expect it as well. Mine were always at night. There was only Freya that was induced in the day because she was a planned induction, but the rest of them all came in the early hours of the morning. I was like, I need my sleep. So this opal, I'm just putting in now in all these creasy areas and the dark bits. So it's like an aged, I'm trying to get an aged wood look that's got stuff growing on it. Well, I know the fourth one, kind of, so the dramatic entrance is appropriate. Yes, he lives up to the way he came out, let me tell you. Okay, and I'm just going to go back now with a dark tan. And where it just looks a little bit light, I'm just going to add this back in. Just so it deepens up that. So that was my Tuesday morning talk about giving birth to babies. You see, I told you, Shell's channel, it comes out with the most weird, wonderful conversations you'll ever come across. Yeah, I nearly didn't get to the hospital with my second. I was full on 10 centimetres dilated when I got there, and the midwife was like, oh my goodness, I thought we'd be checking you and sending you home. Totally agree, Marilyn. I really wanted her to be born that day, and she made it sure it happened. Aww. Kids make their decisions. They wanted to give you a gift on Australia Day. No problem. Go enjoy your sleep, Beth. Thanks for coming along, honey. So I'm just covering up any white space that might be still lingering. So I think all that wood stuff is done. I'm going to keep my tracing pip. Is this a bit like thingy film as well? Or is it not? I need to know what this film is that Tammy's been using, and Karen. So all these I need going over this side because I'm not using them now. So these I just want grey, but I'm going to put a bit of green with them. So first up, I'm going to be using light grey. So you came on tax day, how appropriate. You might be a banker, Ashley. You might end up being a banker. So I'm going on all the light areas with light grey. You can hardly see it. You probably won't be able to see any of it on camera, to be fair. And then next up, for the first, all I can say is eat before you go to the hospital, because I remember all too well going 100 million hours of labour later and they're not feeding me the torture. That is actually really true. I think they forget that you still need stuff. You still need things entering in the gob to keep going. So this is dim grey. I'm going to kind of go over all them sections with dim grey. I'm just kind of loosely going over all these areas because the darker greys will end up giving us our texture. And kind of making sure the edge is shaded in and the centre area stays light. Everyone's labours are all unique, aren't they? The rocks look fab. Love the colour combo, Shell. What have you used? I think I'll be following this one once you've finished. This one I used dark tan mahogany and huntsman for the brown, and then forest green and opal green for the green mossy effect on there for them. So next up we've got medium grey, come colour this for me because I can't make it look this good. Of course you can, Ashley. So now we're moving on to medium grey. And very crumbly medium grey. I'm just going to emphasise, first of all, I'm just going to run all the way down these edges here anyway. And I want to kind of bring a shadowed look out. So kind of like the sun is hitting right at the front of these steps. And then I'm going to come in between, just on the very fronts of them here, where these all broken bits sit in. My son was a birthday gift for a sister like best friend, so much for the cute topiary I had ordered the night before delivery. All the kiddos upstage me. You will hurl if you eat first. They can't feed you in case you have to go into surgery, so logical, understood, but the woman in the labour that was don't care about that, wanted just food. Oh, lovely Sassy, that'd be so nice. That's why I'm putting the pictures of the pencils up, so if anyone wants to knock the chat off and speed it up when they watch playback, they can see what I'm using. Sometimes I put cue cards up, but I've lost a lot of the Black Widow ones. They've just disappeared for some strange reason, so I've not been using the cue card, so I'm making sure I'm showing on camera what I'm using, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, and then last up we're using coal. The paper's just sliding off the book. I'm not impressed with my hay fever tablets not kicking in. I'm feeling all like snuffly, so I do apologise if I'm snuffling. When I had Harvey, I had a box of Cheerios in my bag that I was munching. The midwife was like, don't see, I didn't see. Was like, don't see, I didn't see that. I had the best tasting ice chips ever. What's ice chips? The little spongy stick they swab your mouth with is a godsend. A what now? Ashley, was it barium swallow? What the heck's that? Shall we need to do another one like the Sphinx buddy colour Kirby? Oh yeah, the Sphinx. Well, this can be a buddy colour. Anyone wants to join in on the elephant? We can class it as a buddy colour. That's fine with me. My son's shouting at Fortnite downstairs, I can hear him. So if you can hear him, I'm very sorry. So I'm just going with the texture that Kirby's put in on these steps, leaving patches of light. What I'm going to do with Forest, because obviously I brought Forest out, because it's on the wood, I'm going to bring it out onto the steps as well, as though the moss has climbed out onto the steps. So I'm just going to randomly put that in. I'm going to have to go and tell him to calm down in a minute. He's getting a bit irate on there. It's a contrast liquid so they can see your insides on x-ray for stomach, throat and intestines. Oh dear. What, you drank it? It's a paste you have to swallow so they can see a medical imaging if you have to gastrointestinal obstructions or other problems. Ice chips are broken ice piece and it's the only thing they let me eat in labour. Oh no, that's a bit rubbish. It's not very sustaining, is it? You kind of want a big massive chocolate bar for the energy. It's weird because the colours aren't showing up on camera. See if I pull it up a little bit, does it show you more? So that's kind of shows you a bit more of the green. It's like knocking the green off. You can't kind of see what I've used. So now I'm bringing opal green in. I'm just going to add that in kind of at the bottom of here as well, because you always get at steps and brick, it's always really damp and wet down them bottom areas. So I'm emphasising that up this bit of wood into the steps here. And I'm going to come off the steps with that. Really mossy there. How long have I been on? Oh, an hour and 12 minutes. I'm not stepping on anyone else's toes, am I? Is anyone else meant to be on now? 3 explanations at once. I was overdue with my first and had to go in for an internal. Oh no. Let all the students, doctors have a feel. I went into labour that afternoon. So, Tammy's tip of the day, just let them all examine you in one go and it'll kick your labour off. Where's Forest gone? I'm going to go back to using Forest for a second. I'm just going to bring that green out. I want them to look really mossy steps. I think I've got that loop with them. So last one. Right, just bear with me for 2 seconds, please. Just 2 seconds. This is why it's hard to be on a school all the days. Just bear with me a second. Sorry everyone, just had to adult there. No one streams at this hour, that's alright. I didn't think they did, but because I don't stream every week on a Tuesday night, I didn't know whether somebody else may have come on. No, I don't want call. Yeah, I do want call, sorry. So I'm just coming back in with call. You see call? And just emphasising some of these steps down here. I'm out of breath. I've only walked downstairs. I'm all for letting students come into my appointments or whatever. The one time I let a student do my stick for an IV, you missed my vein. You can see my vein from space. How did you miss? Boys, both boys had to be induced. I've had one induced. I didn't like it. So everyone, what do you think about that shell chick? Who, me? Who's shell? You don't need to talk about me now. Oh, thanks, Brandy. I'm just worried that you can't see the colours in them because I'm looking at my screen there and it looks really washed out. But it is quite greeny grey colours. So I'm going to do these bright green. I'm just going to see if I can get them to show better on the camera so anyone following along can see what they kind of look like. But it's washing the colour out. How do I get it to... Can you see the colours in there now? Or is it still washing them out? It is. It's not gone straight over my head. I read it and then thought, oh, you're doing your talk about me thing while I'm gone. Oh, right, what we're doing now. I think I might do the let me do these little wooden trees in here, because then we can go on to, because these are only like little branch ones. I'm just going to do all these with dark tan. I don't want to be out of frame. So I'm going to go for another half an hour and then I'll love you and leave you all. Well, I just want to do these because they're only little, they don't need much detail as much as the other ones. The other ones I'm going to do a different colour completely. I'm probably going to miss one of these branches out somehow. This is so dinky. I'm not covering it up. I might hate it if I cover up what I'm doing and try and make sure I hold the pencil further out so I'm not missing anyone. Tammy, that's troublemaker, hard to believe she's a teacher. That's a pot calling kettle black. I went in on a Sunday and had my first that Wednesday morning, laboured the entire time. Doc wanted to do a C-section now, but I was dead set against it. He was trying to rush me out to free up a bed. Oh my gosh. That's not good. Oh, from Tuesday to Sunday, that's horrendous. Damn it. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the elephant hashtag, Brandy, yeah. Someone told me that it was a tag, because I know Sammy did an elephant and mentioned it was for a tag as well, so I thought, oh. It didn't enter my head at the time. I didn't purposely start doing it because of a tag. I was doing it anyway, but then it was like, oh, well, I might as well add it into that. So coming in with mahogany. So it's all going to match these woods, but I'm going to use a different combo for the tree. The further front trees, I'm going to do them a lot like dark and a different combo completely. So I'm literally just adding a bit of this in this corner, just following the lines that kind of Kirby's made in his drawings, and just gives it texture. I'm not completely covering up the dark tan that I've used, but I want it to have a bit of depth and tone, highlights in there. Was Huntsman. So I'm keeping my pencils really sharp just because the detail is really small. I'm going in here and here. Nincompoops. Have to go into work shortly. I'll miss the end of the stream most likely. Oh, thank you, Brandy. Oh, I'll not be much longer now, to be fair, because the kids are going to need feeding and you're going to hear them getting louder. So I probably won't be on much longer, to be honest. I'm just going to play it by ear to see what they get like downstairs. I don't want hungry kids. No problem. Go enjoy your running, Marilyn. And enjoy listening whilst you're running. It's funny, I keep you company while you're running, but I'm actually thousands of miles away. Okay, so what colour do I want? I'm actually going to do these in the two I've got here. I'm going to do these really dark in the background, so I'm going to go in with forest, and that I'm going to give them all a nice light layer of forest. Nothing complicated at all with this, but I just like to keep the background trees a bit darker than the front. I'm going to do all the other ones further forward a lot brighter. Oh, do you go lie down in your bed, little boy? So cute. So a blanket cover of forest. Mine are always hungry. That's when you get, I don't get crying kids as such anymore. I get fighting kids. So when they all get hungry and they get on each other's nerves, I've got to go and split them all up. And it's different when they're older, and then when they're younger you've got crying babies. Look at this little monkey here. Oh. To do some miniature fur there. And get all around here. Feels good colouring in Kirby again. I kind of started my journey out with Kirby, and I do miss colouring his work. So then I'm going to go in with not gold, that's for sure. Where's it gone? This it? Yeah, opal green. And then everywhere we've got, I'm going to start from down here, everywhere I've got the really dark sections of the tree is where I'm going to add that. So I'm going to fill in all these shadowed areas first and work my way up. And where I've got bigger areas of bush, I just add a bit of colour in between the middle of that, just to, very loosely, just to emphasise dips, and because in your trees there's kind of darker areas and lighter areas, isn't there? So I'm kind of like just scribbling my pencil around to give it some texture as well. But where it's really dark, I'm really pressing in there. And then this bit here where you can see there's a big patch of light, I'm just kind of scribbling my pencil around so it picks up light and dark areas, or gives it that effect of light and dark areas between the leaves that would be there. Hi Mona, good day. No problem. Enjoy your day, Mona. Good day, Aspie. Oh, don't whack too many with your cane. See, I hear someone sneaking about. Who's coming upstairs? Who's that? Who is it? Well, you don't need to be quiet. Just, you don't need to sneak. No? Good day. I'm getting there. I keep watching Australian things I'm trying to pick up so one day I can give you a sentence in Australian. Because I was watching a comedy thing with Russell Howard on. He had that Australian accent nailed when he visited Australia after lockdown and New Zealand. He did a tour and it was his Australian accent was amazing, so I'm trying to learn, and then one day I'm going to blow you all away. I'm going to come on and I'm going to sound like an Aussie. That didn't even sound Aussie. Because I got my Australia down. And that's about it. And g'day. G'day and Australia. I'm trying to think what else I've not learned many things yet. So I hope many do follow along with it. It'd be really nice to see your interpretations of your elephant page. I've seen many different interpretations of this page and things like that, but I just thought, oh, I'll do it as a colour along. Because I was going to do the, what's it called? Let me find the page. I was going to do that one, but loads have done that one, so I thought I'm just going to do the elephant instead. So yeah, do tag me either on Facebook or Instagram. If you're colouring along, I'd love to see what you've done. I'll show you in my Instagram story if you tag me on there, and I'll show you in my Facebook story if you tag me on Facebook. Links to Facebook group is in the description below, and if you haven't already subscribed, then please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you watching along. Oh. I forgot to pull you back down into screen. Hi Melissa, how are you? Good day. I'm trying to think Australian when I say it. But my broad accent doesn't help either, because I'm quite a flat, broad English accent or a northern accent, so I'm quite, sounds lazy speak, but a lot of people either love my accent or they hate it, they can't understand what I'm saying. So I find it hard to pick up other accents because of how broad I am. So I'm going back to forest. I'm just going to go back over it again just to make sure I'm filling out all that white space and it's all nice and green. But I'm going to purposely leave little I'm not going to go over it as hard in all areas, you know, so you get like different pockets of colour. So some places I'm going to really press in, and then other places I'm going to really lighten off the pressure, so you get a good mix. So ones that are more further forward are a bit lighter, and ones that are further back are a little bit darker. Just bringing out the texture. You're waking up? Is it very early over there? Oh, thanks, Brandy. I'm not your typical, like, down south talking Londoner, or, you know, I'm very northern. Not Scotland North, but British North. I've had many people ask me, am I from Yorkshire? Well, I'm not from Yorkshire. It's Wiganese. It's just the way us Wiganers speak. We're very like, instead of saying think, THINK, we say think with an F. So thanks, think. It's very lazy speak. But if I was to speak Old Wigan, then that's even harder. So I don't speak like that. Sometimes it does come out. So the way we would talk is, there's got a good set of pencils there. That's how I would speak, but I'm not allowed to speak. My dad never let us speak in the Old Wigan. That's geet. I did try and teach Mary some Old Wigan slang. I had a sheet of Old Wigan slang. So, blanket cover of forest, still using the same colour. I'm kind of going out of frame. I've not got much space here. I love your accent. Mine was similar before I moved to Scotland. I know, I was thinking that the other day when I was watching. I thought, you have gone very, very, very Scottish, because I know you are from near where I'm from. You have really picked up the Scottish accent and really embraced your culture of Scotland. It's amazing. I can do Scottish, I think. I'm all right with Scottish. But I'm terrible at I can't do American. All I can do is like my daughter, when she was younger, she used to watch Doc McStuffins all the time. Sophia the Princess and the Disney Funhouse thing. Disney Clubhouse, I think it was called. She watched them all the time, and I remember I went to a course where I put her in a creche while I did my course, and every week they'd look at me funny and they'd be like, where are you from? And I'm like, from here, why? And then one day they said, have you adopted your daughter? And I said, no, why? What makes you think I've adopted my daughter? They said, well, she speaks American. And I'm like, no, she doesn't. Because I couldn't hear it at the time. And they went, well, sorry, I'm using opal green now. She speaks American. I'm like, no, she doesn't. She speaks English. And they're like, she doesn't. And so I went home that night and I'm sitting and listening to her, because obviously I hear her every day. I didn't think anything was different. But I sat and listened to her, and she used to always say, gotta do it. Gotta do it, Mom. And I was like, she actually does. And she used to say, put my clothes in the closet. Didn't you? And she's here behind me. And she used to say all this stuff, and I never actually heard it until the people from the creche said she really does sound American. And she did. She'd be like, she'd always say, what other things did you used to say, Freya? She used to say it all the time. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. She was playing with something. Gotta do it, Mum. I'm like, Mum, not Mom, Mum. She used to say closet. She used to say, can I put my rubbish in the trash? What else? Can you remember, Freya, the things you used to say or not?
Not really.
No, she doesn't say. She sounds like a Wiganer now. But it used to be so funny. I'm trying to think of all the things she used to say. But she had an American twang to her words she used. I often thought she has an accent. She don't. Sometimes I can't hear it anymore, but it really, I was more thingy that I didn't actually pick up that she was sounding American. But she did. Everything that was said in Doc McStuffins or Sophia the Disney Princess and all them ones, she did use all them words. The only ones I remember clear was when she used to give her a toy to play with, she used to say, I gotta do it. Let me do it. She used to say, I'm playing in my closet. But apparently I think a lot of kids are like, not acclimatised, but with the programmes that are on TV now, they all sound like it. So I'm going back with Forest. The only thing I like saying is, gotta go for a coffee. Because I live in Brooklyn. I don't think so, Ant. Should I do your voiceovers in an American accent? So I'm going back over it, Forest, doing what I did in the other side, and ones that are more set back and pressing on harder, and the ones that are forward I'm leaving lighter. So I'm just lifting the pressure off on the ones I want slightly lighter and pressing harder on the ones I want darker. And this also, it helps keep your palette limited by using different pressures with your pencil. Rather than going for a lighter green, press on harder with your pencil and get the darker shades of it, and then press on lightly. So like that looks like now I've used 3 different colours, but I haven't. I've used 2 pencils. They speak English too, and he started school and lost it all. It just shows like I've got a friend that lives in Australia, and when I see her on videos and stuff on Facebook, I can hear her Wigan accent, but I can hear the Australian twang that she's got in her accent now. But her kids are full on Australian, so when I hear her kids talking Australian, it's strange because you'd think they'd pick up a bit of my friend's Wigan accent, but they're not. They're totally Australian. It's crazy. So yeah, I just want a bit of darker in these further back ones. So that's how I want them trees to look in the background. Now we can barely roll, and I have failed my roots. Oh, hi Christine. 5:50 a.m. Wowzers. Well, I'm going to come off in 15 minutes because I've got to go and feed my kids, but I've done the majority of that. I don't know whether to start is here on this side, put in some of the dark tan in on his head down here. See, I was using like a reference picture of the elephant, which is on my phone, but I think I can just go ahead with it now and add in these tan bits where I want them added in, because the legs on the elephant are really tanned, so I'm going to kind of do more of the elephant tanned. It's like he's got dry mud stuck on him. So back to dark tan, and I'm just adding this in places on his head, but I'm keeping in mind where the darker bits as well. So in fact I better do that first. Let me just grab coal, because they have specific markings on the heads. So I'm just going to get coal and I'm just going to put these markings in. I'm just going to match up what I've put in here. They'll still go over that grey, I'm not too worried about that. And that kind of comes down here. And then here they have like on this angle here they have more of a hump bit there, trying to keep it the same kind of shape. That look equal. I need to look that it looks equal. And then they have this section here. See, he's got leaves here what I didn't have on this side, so that a bit of muscle or pronounced bit of bit down here like that. Right, so that's matching up that side, I think. Yeah. Going with the next one. Which was medium grey. Kind of quite with that. Not functioning very well. Oh no, Christine, is it too early? Well, you have a bit of a lay in bed and function when you feel ready to function. Going back to coal, and I'm going to come in here and just pick up these areas here that are darker. And same here. I'm just going to work with Kirby's shadows that he's put in already with these. So what's everyone's plans for the week? Are you doing anything special in the holidays? Because I think most of us are on holidays across the world really, aren't they, at the minute? Summer breaks and things like that. I think Australia's in the winter season. So taking coal down in the really darker areas here. Aunt, how's your mum doing? If you're still here. there'll be quite a lot of wrinkles in this bit that's close to his ear bit here. And I never knew there was different types of elephants. I didn't know that there was elephants with bigger ears and shorter ears. I thought they were all the same elephant, just in different parts of the country. Okay, so now I've got these in. I'm a slurp of my coffee. It's probably gone cold now. Ew, it has cold coffee. Ugh. I don't think I'm a fan of cold coffee. Just a little bit of shadow here. It's really easy, I think. I mean, at first when I started colouring Kirby, I used to find it really daunting until I sat there and just studied his pages and thought, do you know what? They're not really hard. You just follow what he's done and it guides you. No, US holiday school is starting back. All right. Oh, Megan's back in homeschooling. No way. I'm just hoping that homeschool learning is out the window now, because here in the UK it's changed the rules now that even if a child goes off on isolation, the rest of the class don't, because we just can't sustain it for an economy. You know, we're a small country, and as soon as your kid has to go home, then you have to come out of work and you potentially could risk losing your job. So they've had to do something, because we just can't sustain keep having to go home when your kids are off. So it's kind of sacked that off now. Okay, so I'm going back with dark tan, which is the brown sections, and I want to just add them in kind of on top of his ear here at the edge. I'm going to go here as well. Oops, gone out the line a bit there. I'm going to go up that section there. I'm just adding these like really randomly, because these elephants, where they are in Asia, they all look really like dusty with this kind of dirty dust on them. So I'm going to be emphasising it more on his body. It's like he's shook it off a bit on his head, but it's going to be a lot more browner colours on his legs when it comes to that section. But I'm not bothered if I put this on. I'm going to be putting grey over it anyway. It just helps give that cast of dirty dust as well. It's my last week of the holidays and I'm back to work next Monday. Hi Robin, good morning. Is this your new job, Lou? On Monday you're starting. I'm going in with medium grey. And don't forget, with this elephant, I put a base coat on with Neo colours. So it's grabbing the pencil much better than it was. So I'm just edging all that coal that I used with medium grey. just like I did on this side, but I'm keeping a piece of tracing paper over it because Kirby's books, it rubs off very easily. So I keep a piece of tracing paper over, especially when you're doing it in sections like I've been doing here. Oh, let me just grab coal back a second, because I've missed a darker bit there. That can kind of join to that. So where all these are here, just adding that in. There we go. Then come down here. There's an outbreak that's going through the schools here in Brisbane, so we're all on tender hooks. Oh no. It's really ranked up. You was doing really well in Australia, wasn't you? And it was really on the... You had it really controlled. But this new variant, I mean, this other new variants, it just I've always been a firm believer in me that this is like a terrorist attack and it's been man-made. And I just think these new variants, yeah, viruses mutate, but not at the speed this has been mutating. It's been like 1 minute, oh, it's another variant, it's the British variant, it's the French variant, it's the Brazilian variant and stuff like that. And I just think, how are all these variants how is it mutating that fast? Even the flu doesn't mutate that fast. And it just makes me think, is it just being another one that's being released, or are they scaremongering? And it's just all the same variant and they're just trying to scare us into staying in and things like that. I don't know what to believe. And I know I've got friends, you know, even my husband's had COVID. I'm not saying COVID's not there, but it just, the more they keep saying this is happening and that's happening, and just makes me think, what's going on? Are they up to things with this virus that they shouldn't be? I don't know. Probably a lot of conspiracy theories. Me and Kirsty talk about it quite a lot. Just jumping back to coal for a second here, just because I want to add a bit of texture to the back of the head here. Oh, little baby's got hiccups. Ah, got hiccups, baby. Officially 31 weeks pregnant. Oh, not long to go. Anything from 37 weeks on, Melissa, you can pop your sprog out. Yeah, definitely, Megan. Stay safe. It is. It's crazy. It really is crazy at the minute. I mean, I'm still wearing masks. We don't have to wear masks. But if I'm being honest, even little side shops, I'm not too bothered about. But definitely in supermarkets and shopping centres, I've definitely kept my mask on. Because even though it's been Freedom Day, it's still out there and people are still getting ill. So I've not took my mask off as such. So where have I got to go? A medium. I've lost where I've gone because I went back up there. So then it's dim grey. Where's dim grey gone? I had all these pencils the right way around so I could see which was which. Is this dim grey? Nope. Have I knocked it off? I've lost my dim grey. It's not on the floor. How can I lose a pencil I've just been using not a few minutes ago? There it is, right in front of my face. Right, so now I'm using dim grey. That's when I'm starting to get emotional about the time I have left with my son until his brother comes. Everything will change. Oh. But it changes for the better, if that makes sense. I was like that because my son there's 5 years difference between my son and my next daughter. And we had a bit of starter trouble, as I would call it, like, you know, jealousy issues. He reverted to being quite babyish. But after a bit, once he got used to the idea that nothing changed for him, in the sense that he still got just as much love from me and his dad, it was a lot better. But we did have a bit of hiccups at the start, not gonna lie. So this dim grey, it's just the bridging colour between the lightest and the darkest colours. I still got to add the darkest of the greys in, but then I want to get snow, which is what I did on this side, and I just used snow. You can't really see it much, but I can here off camera. Mary, hello! This variant is as contagious as chickenpox. US had 100,000 sick in one day. Oh no, Marilyn, be careful! True. See, I don't know how it works. I know mutations happen, but I just think, do they happen at the speed of, at the rate they are? But I suppose it's all new territory, isn't it? Really, we've never really been in this situation that's worldwide pandemic, and I just think it's all crazy. And I just think, will it ever go away if this is how it's going to be? Is there always going to be another new variant? You've lost your Prisma eggshell somehow. Oh, I do that all the time. I think I lost a Pablo grey. I can't think, it was charcoal grey. And I was like, where's it gone? And then one day it just appeared back. And I was like, oh. So now I'm moving on to mahogany. And that's just where I put the dark tan. I'm just going to add a darker variant to that. And then I go over it with grey, like I did over here. So under here, and down here in these creased areas. So like where the mud's got in there a little bit more than in the other parts. Same with down here. $21,000 yesterday. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it does. It becomes a different. It's hard to understand or imagine what it's going to be like until they're there, Melissa. But once they're there, it's like, honestly, it all changes for the better. You will have some ups and downs, I'm not going to lie, you will. You know, where they feel like they're losing their mum and dad, but they're not. And once they realise they're not losing your love and they're getting just as much love, it all starts moving in a good direction. So don't be worried about it at all. Just let it go with the flow and it will just all fit into place. It always does with siblings. I'm just going to add a bit down here over the top of that grey. Because the way I'm doing this, and I've said it earlier on, it's like you shoot the dustiness off his head. And so I just want this in patches. But enough that you can see he's got that tanned kind of dusty coat of dirt on his body. So I wanted to add a bit more in here as well on this side. So you still see the grey, but you see the dirt on top as well. Did I read your previous message? Let me have a look. Have I missed it? I see hi Shell and friends. A message on here, Robin, or have you emailed me? Yeah, definitely, Jamie. Yeah, our clinics are keeping what we found here, Christine, is a lot of COVID measures that they put in place. They've done that. They've kept it, even though they've lifted stuff, they've kept things in place. So what I'm doing with mahogany now, I'm just holding my pencil quite far back and I'm just going over all these grey areas with a very light layer. It's not going to take the grey away, but it's just going to give me a nice light layer of, because I just want it to look like there's a dusty cast of mud on his skin entirely. So this will just give it gives it that cast of brown. If I move my page around, you get a cast of brown. I can see it here, and if you're following along, you'll see it when you do it, what it does. But the grey stays, but you get this kind of brown cast over it. So I'm coming over this side now. It's just very, very, very light pressure, or else it'll go too dark. And you're just using the side, and you know when you're doing it right, because the side of your lead will start getting this indent in it. I don't see anything in caps, Robin, unless it's at 8:07. It doesn't tell me the times. Hold on, I'm in top chat again. Let me just change it to live chat. So that means I might have missed a load of people's comments. Let me have a look. I just find Robin's message in capitals if it's there. I don't see it, Robin. It's only letting me go a certain far back, and I don't see it. You can just retype it again. I only see the one where it says, Shell, did you read my previous message? And then ones where you're saying hi to everyone coming in. So keeping it on its edge and just giving it a light layer of this over the top of the whole grey. Just doesn't look like I've got much done. Again, I never get a lot done on live streams. I'm trying to get quicker, but it's just not happening. Okay, so I think my dusty elephant ears are looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just do to his tusks here, and then I'm going to call it a day. Or should I do the greenage in the other greens that I want to use? I want it to be really green. I know 2 people who have died from COVID. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not there at all, Robin. I know people that have been seriously ill with COVID. I'm meaning the variants is what I'm meaning. All these variants, or is it just not COVID travelling round and reoccurring again and again and again? Where they keep saying it's these variants, because they said there was the variants in from the Indian variant, but our borders were closed and we still got the Indian variant. So it's kind of, I'm not saying COVID is not there by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that are all these variants actual real new variants, or is it just the same COVID just travelling back round and reoccurring? So I'm not saying that COVID's not real whatsoever. I'm not implying that at all. So I'm using Passion for these ones. I'm just going to do these green leaves around here because you've seen how I've done the skin. I am going to still video it. So I'm going to give a blanket layer of Passion on all these ones coming forward. But these what look like spriggy sprigs, I'm going to use the other colours. So all these ones, this one's going to be a light one here, but all these ones at the top of his head is going to be this colour here. So all these new ones around the front coming forward. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do like a patch of them. Let me just put, this is just dark tan because there's a branch here and a branch there. Yeah, very true, Aspie. That's what, yeah, a lot of people don't see. They think the vaccine's like a miracle cure and it's not. Hence why I've not stopped wearing my mask, really. So that's still his skin there. So these are going to be green. But yeah, I am sorry for anyone that has lost anyone during COVID. I know personally my husband's lost a few workmates to COVID. I've had family members that's had COVID and been extremely ill, so I'm not saying at all anywhere that that's not happening. I'm purely meaning I honestly believe that COVID's been a terrorist kind of thing. I do believe it was man-made, but I just don't, where they keep saying there's a new variant, I just think it's the same COVID. It's not just, it's been detected in them areas, but they make it sound like it's come from that place, and it's not. It's just the same thing. It's just been found in that place, if that makes sense. Oh, thank you, Murray. No problem. Go take care of yourself, Mona. Go get your therapy. So in between that, let me just grab forest, because I want to put a blanket down of, so this is forest, just for anyone colouring along. I want to put a blanket down of forest here, so kind of want to mix the two up. Some of these are going to be forest. And then I want to add forest here. Like patches of different colours coming through this. Let's have a bit of it here as well. The online virus protection thing's coming up. No problem, baby. I was like that this morning when I woke up. I had right gunky eyes. So I took an antihistamine, and I don't sound as groggy either. I sounded really groggy. So then I want to come back to passion, and I'm adding in that here and here, and then here. So then my next colour is going to be lime fruit, and that's going in. Oh, I felt that wobbling. I don't have any glue, so I'll have to redo it. Yeah, I don't want anyone thinking I'm anti-COVID. I'm definitely far from anti-COVID. It's just when they keep saying there's different variants, and then you hear people saying from different countries, oh, we've got the English variant here, and I just don't think there's a difference. I think it's the same COVID, it's just been discovered in the UK first, this other strain. Why is this just breaking? I think the whole thing's just, look, it's just crumbling. Oh no, let me just get me M&R on it. It might be not me M&R, me swordfish. I really do hope that if Albert brings the new Black Widows out, it brings them out with the names. You know how some have got the names at the end and then here, and then some have got the names down here. So once I get past that, and then no longer know what that's going to be called unless I look up that number. Then once I get past that number, I won't have a clue what colour the pencil is. So, what size set of these pencils? I have all of them, Jamie. I have the Skin Tone, the Monarch, the Cobra, the Scorpion, and the Black Widow set. So I'm just waiting for his new set to come out in October time, did he say? Or around that time. So this is lime fruit. And I'm just adding this in them shadowed areas. All around here. So some I'm going to cover the whole, so I'm doing the same as what I did at the top, where some further forward I'm doing brighter and then some keeping it lower. Shell, do you know that 36 more windows will be coming later this year? Yes. I have been told that. It's been raining 2 days here. I'm liking this weather. Oh, the rain. Love rain. I do love rain. I hate it when it rains constantly and you can't go anywhere or do anything, but when it's hot, you just like the relief of rain. You could just stand in it for days on end. So I'm adding lime fruit in all the back areas, should I say, where it's kind of personal preference, this bit, but where you've got some leaves at the foreground here, I'm putting lime fruit in the background, so I get lighter colours popping forward. You'll see it more when I do the next darker colour in that section. That's a big plane coming over, it's dead loud. The pencil's sick. The pencil's sick, what does that mean? All I've heard so far, but heard off the grapevine, really is October time, back end of the year. But I might actually message and ask. I know, I think I'm going to have to do. I'm going to put something on. Does anyone have a blank? I have a Holbein sheet I can send you, which is like this one, is what I made up. Oops. If you want my ones, they'll be uploaded to the group. So I've got blank ones like this, where you can just handwrite your own in. I'm sure I've got this actually saved to my computer, so let me just take the blur off. So mine are like this. So I think I've got actually this on file, but they all come with my logo on. They were created by Kirsty Oliver. Kirsty showed me how to make. Kirsty's made a few of these, and then she showed me how to do it, so I can kind of help muck in. So if you want any of these, there'll be blank ones going on the Shellarty and Colouring Friends, where they're just empty boxes and a line there for the title. Couldn't think then what that was called. Oh, sorry Brandy, I was like, what do you mean your pencil's sick? Sometimes things go over my head quite a lot. So if you want these, the blank one, I've not got a blank one, but I've got all kinds of swatch charts on the group. We've got combos, we've got background ones. Yes, I can. But like I said, if you want mine, they do have my logo on, just purely because we've made them. So if you don't mind my logo being on there, I will send it you. But I do have it in blank. I can send you, you can get blank ones off the thing, but I think I saved the Holbein one where I've, you know, because I type them all in, because I get the original PDF, the editable one, I type them in. But I can't send you that one, but I can send you the blank one. So if you want that, I'll make sure that goes up in the group, the blank one anyway, because I need to do that. So once I've done this leafy bit, it'll be the last one. So the last up in this bright bit is Sapphire. I'll just come back down. And we've got Sapphire, and this is going right in these darker sections here. This is really going to break it up. But I'm for getting a bit of a shake on, so I'm going to have to come off and go get dinner. It's late now. What time is it? 1:30. It's definitely dinner time. We did only get up at 10:15, so Shell, can you send it to me because I want to put it on tone tan? Thank you. So yeah, I'll send it to you, Mary. Do you want the written one, Mary? But if you go on to Shellarty and Colouring Friends, the link is in the description, I think. I hope it is. There is some combo charts already on there, but we're in the middle of re-logoing them, which is that logo you saw on this one. So we will be adding more to the group. We just got to get the logos on them. But I've got quite a few different charts going on. Yeah, it was all crumbling, wasn't it? Yeah, Mary, I'll email it you. Have I got your email address? Just inbox me your email address, Mary, and I'll email it you today. I'm sure I've got that one done, because normally I delete them once I've wrote them all in, but I think I kept that one. I'm just adding all this in here. They're not come down here with lime fruit. Does it feel like I've used the brightest ones down here? I'm just blending that out a little bit with lime fruit, which is just down here at the bottom. It's nearly running out. I'm going to have to make tabs from now. Right, where's opal? Got forest. So opal green. Oh, thanks, Robin. They are, aren't they? So back in with opal green. I'm going over here and I'm going to come right down into the shadowed areas down here on these. I'm going to add that into these bright bits as well. I'm going to add a bit of this in because it'll still go. Brighten all these areas up. At least I've not got a squealing tap out my bathroom today. That's stopped. I don't know what on earth was going on with that. So all here gonna be opal. Have I showed you that it's opal green? I'm sure I have, but I forget whether I've flashed the name of the pencil or not. And I'm just using his shadows. So here I've got some of these darker areas, so I'm going to add these in as well. And I'm going to add little bits in between the bright green as well, because that'll just give it more contrast. And then once I've done this bit, I'm going to call it a day, I think. And then I'll be back Friday night. I need to clarify with someone first. I'm not too sure yet what I'm doing on Friday. I think I was meant to be doing like a colour along thing all month, so I need to just check with Zoe if we're doing it or not. So all in between this dark bit here. No, I definitely said opal green. It's probably my accent, honestly. Opal and awful probably sound the same in my accent. I must admit I don't switch either. The closest come to swatching is scribbling when I test the colours. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not a big swatcher. I don't have all the swatching things. I only have the ones I have swatches for are the ones that I've done reviews on my channel of. So like I've got swatches of Arteza. I've got swatches of Holbein because I did a Holbein video. And I think that's it. I don't even have a full colour chart of my Black Widows. I only have my actual screen quote cards, so you know what I'm using. So I'm coming down here and I'm just going to add these, a bit of dark to the base of these. I'm going to add some of this sapphire. I'm just going to add some of this in here just to brighten these leaves up a little bit. Around this tree. Ever since I put the binder, it has been easier for me to pull them out. No, I've not got no watercolour swatches at all. And the only ones I have got swatches of actually are these ones, because I did a video on them. Which ones are they now? The KJ Designs Karen ones. I've got swatches of them, of these, only pure, but they're already in here anyway. But I have swatches of these, but because I did a video on them. So anything I've done a video on, I've got a swatch of, and everything. If I've not done a video of it, I don't have a swatch. Oh, I have one of my polychromos actually. I have one of my polychromos and my Karen Dash Pablo's, because I did a video on that ages ago. But I need to do a polychromos one. I'm in the process of doing a Black Widow one. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. The rest I'm going to do on video and upload it as a video, I think. Just get focus on this. I'm going to upload it as a video. But it's starting to look really good. I really like him. Once I get his skin done on him, he's going to look really, really cool. But I'm going to see what I can do with these backgrounds. I want it to look like there's just sheer water coming down the back of him. So on this horizon line here, I want to do some more rock face in between the trees here. But then I'm going to do it as though there's water coming down the back of him. Yeah, tone tanned will be nice, Mary, because then you can see your really light ones as well. Oh, no worries, Tracy. Thank you for catching me live. Like I said, they will be a bit sporadic, these Tuesday morning ones. It just depends on what morning I'm having with the kids and stuff, and if I can get on, I'll get on. But once the kids are back at school, it'll be more of a regular thing. But for now, it's just Fridays, Sundays are definite at 8 PM, and Tuesdays as and when through the holidays, and then probably every Tuesday after. But thank you everyone for catching me this morning. I do appreciate you coming along, having a chat with me whilst I've been colouring. I know I don't get much done, but I like taking my time and it looking good. So take care everyone, have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you Friday